much. Thank you. So it sounds like a lot of lovely conversations, which means you've got lots of solutions. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good. Can I just get a rough idea in terms of how many solutions, themes that you feel you'd like to address? Just a hand up so I can see how many kind of ideas and solutions are in this room. We've got one over here, 2, 3, 2. Okay, two there. 2, got one here, 3, 3.5 there, and then got a couple here. So that's at least, let's say, 5 to 6 ideas and solutions. Now, hopefully, they're all going to be slightly different, but even if they are the same, they're not going to be the same solution because every idea is slightly different. And we're going to learn from each one of these ideas. We've got about half a dozen. So, let's just quickly hear what those solutions, scenes that you want to address so we can get a sense of what scenes, what areas of the play we're looking at. Let's start over here. What was it relating to?
Access to help, so being able to actually look on a website and get a name.
Got it? That's very clear.
Get help if you can't.
We can elaborate in a moment. Yeah. That's great. Thank you. Access to help.
Health is related to not understanding the implications of, say, arthritis and how that affected it. So, what solutions to do when you get to your life and you get to an age, older age, I suppose. Implications.
So, can we just put it down as older health, kind of seeking help, help and support?
It's knowledge, really.
Knowledge in later years. Okay, roughly. That's okay. That's number 2.
A magic wand.
A magic wand.
A magic wand.
A magic wand to sort it all out. Every single thing. Wish we had a magic wand to sort things out. Everything in my whole life. My life would be much better. We've got one over here.
So what was 2?
So 2 was older age, knowledge.
Impact on health, they said.
Yeah.
Age?
Impact on health, they said.
Impact on health.
Impact on health, arthritis.
Okay. 3.
So we had a 2-part solution. One was in light of the budget yesterday. We thought we need to have a green budget, and we wanted to challenge why are we forcing granddad and grandson and children who make this golden hour that children has to go to school 9 to 9:30 at the same time of rush hour. So we said we need a green budget to just put a sweeping law, all schools start at 11:30.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on. So that, in a summary, would be under.
And this lady had a military army.
Well, I think that's your point. We did also talk about like the mould, the first scene, the mould, sort of ventilation.
Right, household mould and things like that.
Yeah, we talked about the side of things around red tapes and deadlines to do with the council and how to...
Red tapes, deadlines, all to do with the council, and they could sort of do things slightly different to alleviate some of that red tape and deadlines.
Politicians to do what they're asked to do. Is something wrong with the council?
So yours is related to politicians and the council. Okay.
We talked about, because I missed it, so what I did, because I campaign on air pollution, so although I wasn't here, I got...
Actually was here.
Yeah, I knew exactly what I was looking for. So when she mentioned wood burning, I've just been talking about that. So I went with, you said solution, education, that these things are doing harm, and also the asthma. So when
Education, things are doing harm.
yeah, and
Raise
so
awareness.
also when I was told he had asthma, the first thing I said was he taking his inhaler the correct way.
Right.
I just needed to know that, but from the feedback I got, there was an issue there as well. So
Right, whether one was using an inhaler in the correct format to get the best from
to get
it.
the best form, and I could tell straight away by how it was described to me, it was failing. And then the last thing I looked at is, what in case Grandad has had an asthma attack, then gone to hospital, and there's always an issue with access to health when you get there, and the barrier between talking to health professionals
Yes.
and that community.
Okay, so barriers to that access to health.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we'll make that one barriers to accessing health. And then finally,
So,
to accessing health.
so the scene where he was trying to get help and he cried out for help, there was no acknowledgement that he was an elder. And how then do you speak to him to see what else that he needs, and have you had an assessment? So it's not just about the grant, it's about, well, what other care does he need? What other help? That somebody should have been coming to that house. So, and the other point was that air pollution forum. A lot of those things are not designed with elders in mind and technology in mind. However, his complex needs, those responsibilities that he had as a granddad, as a father, as a neighbour, and nobody asks why are you burning the wood stove? So there are financial problems. He comes from a generation where we had lead poisoning in the water, we had lead pipes. So a lot of our health problems are not just now, they've been age-old problems in this environment. So we were looking at the relationship with his children. He's a carer, the house is cold. Health is not just about accessing centres. Health is about how do we have healthy homes, healthy lives, healthy relationships to empower his sons, his children and his neighbours to support him accessing help, because it's difficult to navigate how to access help and the support. Everybody left it on him.
Okay, thank you so much. That's quite a lot there. And here,
Go back to the council and their responsibility in having the housing stock in good repair. That, you know, and the fact that the elderly may be in a property for a long time
Yes.
that has not been renovated, even though the council experience, I've said we have replaced all the kitchen, we've replaced all the bathroom in the flats from the 60s and 70s. They have not been done. And the folks living in those property thought when they said we are going to cut down the amount of council buildings so we have more funds to fix up those older property. Instead, they knocked down the estate they could to put away. And the new built now, those same people thought, oh, we're going to be rehousing those new built or renovated part. It is new people are coming in and they're still in the old derelict property. And they're never sure, oh, we're not fixing them up. And if I could be so bold as to quote, the Central Hill Estate, Crystal Palace, Norwood, that's a typical example where people are still in there and the new built around Lower Lambeth, they're not being granted. And they can't quite decide where. So they are allowing the properties to get into worse condition Literally, it's like even senior member like those in those property for their health condition to deteriorate, and they end up in hospital. And then from hospital, they say, oh, you're going to sheltered accommodation. And that home will seem like a policy by default.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing all of that. We're going to try to look at, most importantly, what would you say, out of all of those things that I think we tried to write down most of them, what would you say is one of the major ones that we should try to address now? What one would you say? Which particular scene was it that you feel we could address and look at for some alternative ways of solutions? Which scene?
That one where they were all standing up.
Ah, yes, and he was going around and being dealt with. You think that's a scene that we could look at?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's start with that. So let's get everything actors back into the scene. And what we're going to try to do is that we're going to just make sure we're really clear on what they are, so we know what the setup is. So let me just go back over here. What's your one?
I'm the Air Quality Forum.
You're the Air Quality Forum. And who are you?
Grandson.
You're the grandson. And who are you?
I work on behalf of Lambeth Council.
Okay, that's enough. Lovely to hear about. Thank you. That council's enough. And what about you? Oh, you represent addiction,
Alcohol and drugs.
And what about you? Who are you? You're the younger grandson.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are all. There wasn't any missing. This was it. This was it. The one that you're referring to. This scene when he's here.
Yeah.
And, right. And so this is a problem that you're saying that he was challenged in this. And so do people relate to this scene? Can I get a sense of people relating to trying to? Can I just get a hand up so we can see how many people kind of relate to it? Okay. So, Grandad, if you'd like to take a seat somewhere outside, you'll be able to watch what others are going to do to show you how it should have been done. So, we need a brave volunteer from the audience to demonstrate that if you were playing Grandad in this context in the play, and you had to encounter these things in your life, what we are looking from you is to see how you interact with these things differently than what Grandad did. Because you're saying Grandad, when he was here, it didn't work out in the way that was the best for his life. However, we're going to rewind the scene back, and we're going to ask one of you brave volunteers who identified with this scene to play Grandad. And don't tell us what you're going to do. You're going to show us what you would do only if you were Grandad. So that we may be able to learn from you what particular tactic or strategy that you would use if you were in this situation for real. And can I just check with everybody I'm talking to right now? You all want to be entertained, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that only sounds like one or two things.
Yes.
You all want to be entertained.
Yes.
Right, good. That means we need an active volunteer who's going to step up and play the role of Grandad. So, who's up for it first? I know there was quite a lot of ideas. Who's going to play Grandad? We'll just see what happens. We're just going to go 3, 2, 1, action! So, just before we do it, I'm going to ask you all to help with this amazing scene that's never been done, never been rehearsed. It's a world record, it's a world premiere, and to help the scene to go along, I'm going to ask you if you can just sort of do this. I'll just demonstrate and then you can copy. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to clap. And then we're going to say action, and then the scene's going to start. But it needs that kind of oomph to get it going. So, are we ready? 1, 2, 3, action! Let's watch.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Mr. And I sent in my application.
Sorry,
I sent in my application and for the grant because my house is in poor condition.
You're applying for a grant, you say?
Yeah, I've sent in my application. Can you check if my application has arrived, please?
First of all, I'm going to need a name.
So my name is Mr. Grant.
And your date of birth.
And my date of birth is the 26th of the 9th, 1934.
Blimey, you've got that a bit in that. Cool. Alright, so confirm your name and address. Your address, please. Sorry.
So my address is 44 Shakespeare Road.
Oh, so to say then, we don't really have that on record.
You can't find my documents?
No, I don't.
Well, can you find my council tax paper?
Council? You ain't got that paper?
Oh, yes.
Right, give me that then. Let go.
Okay. So,
Council tax details.
yeah, my council tax details should come up under my address.
Yeah, but that's the problem. It's just about to find your address.
You can't find my address.
I just want to pause there. Can I just ask you to raise your hand if you think that they're making progress?
No, it's still been an
Raise your
obstacle.
hand if they're making progress. Want to check the hands? There's lots of hands out there. No? Not many hands out there. Okay, maybe you're not making very much progress.
I'm not making much
Try another one.
Yes,
Brandon, look,
yes.
I've got Chantel coming in 3 minutes time.
All you keep
Where
telling
are
me is
you
about
going?
Chantel.
Look.
Let me tell you something. Have you asked me why are we only burning wood in the house?
Brandon,
Have you actually sat
Your
down
friends
with
say I'm
me
on
and feel in the phone with me? I would appreciate that, grandson.
Brandon.
You're just thinking
Every
about
time
yourself.
I mention it, you
No,
forget,
but you
Brandon.
need
You've
to-
got those old paintings.
Yes,
in
but
your
you
room,
need to
remember?
come and sit right
I think-
next to me and fill it in and make sure.
Brandon, it has to be you because you're the
No,
tenant owner.
yes, it has to be me.
It has to be.
As the owner, but you can write the farm.
Brandon,
No,
make the
you
call.
can't write the
Make the
farm.
call.
No, you can make the call. I'll be
Making
right there.
progress?
I'll be right there.
No?
I'll be right there.
Okay, sorry. Moving on. The next one, you've got air quality forum, you've got your older, younger grandson, or you've got your addiction. Which one are you going to go for?
Air Quality Forum.
Yes, we are.
Air Quality Forum.
Yes, we are here for your
Can you come and visit me at my house? Can you come and visit me? They keep saying my house stink and it's polluted and mold is running down the wall.
Well,
Could you
in
come
fact-
and visit me?
Yes, well, in fact, we can send a representative to assess your home.
Fantastic. You know, all this time nobody offered to come. Look how you make me have to struggle and come up here.
You need only ask and make the appointment.
Thank you. You see, we make progress out there. How long? Yes. So how long before somebody can come? I'm in on Thursdays.
We have 5 weekly slots through the office week. So, when would you like?
Can you come on Thursday, 10 o'clock, please?
Yes, we can come on Thursday.
Thank
10
you.
o'clock.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Great, and your addiction?
My addiction of a grandson again?
Yes, of course.
Grandson, I'm so proud of you. You're always kind and considerate. You really are thinking about what's happening to me. Yeah?
Think about what's
Yeah? Do you know what's happening to me is happening a long time and I want it to stop. I don't want to live like this anymore. Yeah? I want to be able to take care of you. I don't want you to pass through what I passed through. Alright? We're gonna do something. Alright.
We have this.
Look on you. You see how you make me have to rely on you because they disappoint me and let me down.
Who are you?
Huh? Huh?
I'm your addiction.
Yeah, I know you're my addiction. and I don't want you anymore.
Hey.
I don't want you anymore. You make my
You want this-
condition worse. Every minute you me have to take the alcohol and me I smoke the smoke, and it's mashing me up. Even though I get a relief at the time. I don't want you anymore.
If you had a magic wish, what would you like to do? Send the commentary or taking away or what would you
I
like
would
to
like to replace the addiction with good food and clean air to breathe every day.
So, what solutions did you see? Were you happy with those solutions that?
As long as the guy from the air quality.
Sorry, this is that wrong way, so I can't move here. Sorry. Yeah.
As long as the chap from the air quality forum does show up as he promised.
When are you going to show up?
And if you,
On Thursday.
would you like an email or mobile phone confirmation?
On Thursday.
Thursday, 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Thursday.
Thursday, 10 a.m.
What's the date?
26th.
He did say that he'd get somebody else.
In November.
And we send a representative, and if you're not in, we'll come again.
Can you do something about
Is it happening now? That's what we want to know. This month.
It's happening on the booking of Thursday at 10 a.m.
Yes.
Yes. And we have a confirmation system where you can choose either email or text.
Can you just tell us when? We know the date, we know the time. Is it 2025 or
2025, this month, this week, Thursday, 10 a.m. And in the event of your not being home, we will check back in. Your choice, email or.
Can you please make a note of the mold, because I have told my GP about it. It is affecting my health, and if you don't come, I shall have to report it back to my GP.
This is within our remit, and is this your property or do you have a landlord?
I don't have a long door. It is the council's property, and there is mold everywhere. I have told my GP, so if you don't show up, I am going to have to go back to my GP.
We would be happy to also prompt you towards the housing ombudsman, as this
Oh, yeah. Obstacle again.
We were talking about red tape earlier. You were saying about red tape.
So,
Is this where we're going with this kind of going back and forth? Is there any way that we can skip past all of this?
No, you can't. No, you can't.
This is very important. This is a health violation, so we will support you and your application towards the housing ombudsman.
Can I remind you, there is now Hawab's law, so if you don't come, I will have to get a lawyer to review it.
This is our remit. We will be there, and in the event of us seeing any health violations, we will be supporting your claim against the borough via the housing ombudsman.
Thank you very much. I shall see you on Thursday.
That sounds good. So people not in our head.
She said she was in every Thursday.
She did say that she was in every Thursday. But no excuse. Good. Right. So we saw some progress. We saw. Would you be happy with what took place? What kind of going on? Why not? I mean, they did a really good job. They addressed their red tape.
No, I would not be happy until he shows up and I can see what he can do, because that's how that young boy died. Although they showed up, they were not listening. So until he shows up, I don't know.
Okay. Would you like to see that scene when they show up?
Yes.
To your house?
Yes.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. You've arrived.
Please come through to the kitchen. As you can see, there is mold all over my flat, and this is affecting my breathing. What can you do about the mold? My GP has told me that I need to be rehoused because this is bad for my health.
Well, the first thing we're going to have to do is put a claim through to the council and give them a deadline to clear this up. And we're going to have to get you out of here because this is actually dangerous. You shouldn't actually be living in a building with this much mold going on. We're going to test the levels. We're going to make sure you understand the levels so that should you decide to come back and live here next time, you'll know exactly you'll know what quality of air you're breathing. We are going to fund the device that is going to allow you to know the quality of air you're breathing. Beyond that, we can give concessions if, for example, if you have children and you want them to be able to measure, because there's a new drive now where we're encouraging the youth to even know what's going on in terms of the air particulate matter in the surrounding environment. We have targets by 2030, which is coming very soon, but the most important thing is that we actually have to get you out of here because this is lethal.
How long is this going to take? Because as you can see, my son had an asthma attack last night.
Well, that makes this the priority. So hopefully this isn't going to affect school and work too much, but as I said, this is the priority.
It does affect school. As I said, he had an asthma attack last night. I've had to take him to the GP. What I want to know, how long is it going to take you? I've heard everything you said, but how long is this process going to take?
Would you say that your son is vulnerable to the effect of what we're seeing here, or do you think that there's also a necessity for a school check?
No, it is definitely from the mould in the house. It is exacerbating his asthma, and that's what brought on his attack. We don't need to check with the school.
Are you ready for us to enter you into a 48-hour window for you to be out of this building, or is that too soon?
It's not too soon. As you can see, I'm worried if he has an asthma attack, he may die. So please, if you could escalate it within 48 hours.
Are you interested in also escalating this as a legal matter, because this is negligence?
Absolutely, and thank you very much for all your help.
Okay, give it a round of applause. Right. What do you think now?
Yes.
Is this a magic wand person?
You don't really.
Forum doing that? I mean, has anybody got any experience of Air Quality Forum giving that kind of service? Is that what they do? No. Is this realistic? No. It depends. What does it depend on?
Whether there's children in the house, because an actual law has been passed now. So AWAB's law, the 2-year-old. AWAB, the 2-year-old boy that died, there's now an actual law there. So it depends. And also if you've got a letter from your GP or the hospital, they might be legally obliged to actually move you within that time. So it depends.
So it depends. All you doubters, it depends.
People don't realise for a start off that asthma kills. It really does kill. And that's, mould is one of the worst things for asthma deaths for a start off.
So,
that repair would be referred to the council, yeah, but then you get a surveyor, subcontractor, subcontractor.
gosh,
Yeah, you know, it's not an issue.
Okay, so we looked at one solution from the Grandad, and there's about half a dozen, I believe, that people put their hand up. Would it be okay to see one more scene about some other area that you'd like to address?
Yeah, where you can topple the blooming people in control.
Which scene was that? No. Somebody who's got an idea.
Scene about the particulates.
Where Grandad got attacked on the morning of school. Oh yeah, we can replay that for you. Right, so let's have all of the, and Vicky, you're gonna, can we give Vicky a round of applause?
Sure.
She's gonna come and try out how to deal with particulate matters that are in the air, and so that you don't end up what happened to Grandad. Is that essentially what we're going to try to explore? Can we give her a round of applause? I mean, it's amazing. You know, I haven't even signed her up to be our agent or anything, and you know, it's going to be great to see this amazing scene. So, just to remind you, Grandad has taken Junior to school, dropped him off, and he's waiting at the bus stop because he's going to his 11 o'clock appointment, and he's at the bus stop, and something happens in the play that we saw earlier in the bus stop. But what you're going to see now is something that's never ever been shown before ever. This is brand new world premiere. We're going to see something completely different. And remember, we are looking for tactics strategies, solutions, and interventions that are going to help. If you were at a bus stop one morning, going to your appointment, or going to work, or seeing friends, or seeing family, and this happened, this is what you could do. So we're showing you an option. And let's count me. 1, 2, 3, action!
Poison your brain. That's it. I give you mental.
That's it. Stop. Give me a round of applause. Yeah. This was amazing. The first thing they did, they covered and made sure they weren't taking in all of the pollutants, and then they ran away up Brixton High Street, away from the pollutants. Now, that is a strategy, surely. If you feel you're in an area where there's lots of pollutants happening, you simply cover up, mask up, and get out of that area.
That does not work.
Oh, come on! Hand up if that works for you, you would do that in the high street. Hand up, come on, right now, if you would do that, and you felt pollutions were coming down, you would escape, mask up, and leave.
It must work.
It doesn't work.
So that's free people.
Leaving.
No. It's free.
Moving away to somewhere where there's less pollution.
That works. Moving away, but you don't like the masking up.
Exactly.
Let's hear the reasoning and the understanding so we can learn some insights from the person who took that alternative intervention.
91% of the UK is in levels of illegal air pollution. Brixton Road has some of the highest air pollution in the country. PM2.5, it is invisible particulate matter that you cannot see with the naked eye, and you are breathing it in. And by the time she's had an asthma attack, I'm afraid, it's actually too late. Covering your face is not going to matter, and that's why my daughter had over 100 attacks. So every time there was a spike in air pollution, and his lungs then went down. So remember, PM2.5 is an invisible killer, and how it gets into the body, when you breathe in, you are taking it in, and it goes through the bloodstream. You are right. If you move further away, it is better, but it is not the solution. The solution is to clean up the air, and that is why I have been campaigning for the last 11 years.
So Vincent, tell us a little bit about why you did what you did.
Well, I think the covering of my face was like an instinct.
Yes.
And it made me feel like I could do something, even if it's useless. The getting away was the most important thing.
Was that easier to do than the masking? Or?
Well, I mean, you know, in a real situation, if you're waiting for a bus, you're waiting for a bus. You're not going to run away because you're waiting for a bus. That would be mad. So you're kind of stuck, and the only answer is to clean up the air. You know. So
but in the
meantime. But if I was waiting for a bus to go somewhere, I'm still waiting for a bus. I'm not going to run away. You can't run away if you're waiting. How can you? I think we've just got to be aware that normal life is happening
all around
in all of this. You know.
You are not the one who clean the air. It has to be collective.
Thank you for saying that.
And also the council in this case, or the government, or whatever.
Everybody has a responsibility.
Yeah.
We do as citizens, the Mayor of London, that's where I just came from, the government, and I've been talking to them for today. So it is not one person's responsibility. So one of the reasons why they want people to get out of cars, 65% of the emissions come from cars. but it also comes from construction, and it also comes from wood burning. And the CMO, and he won't mind me quoting, he said it is not an excuse. There is this myth around wood burning. By the way, if you live in an urban area like London, you should not be burning wood, because actually we now know everyone in London tends to have central heating. It tends to be a middle class lifestyle. There are places in Scotland that do not have central heating in rural areas, and no one should be burning wood. It's more of a lifestyle, and because it looks nice. And I think I think the education needs to go out there to tell people. It's a bit like in your house having children and smoking in there. A lot of people who smoke, they wouldn't actually smoke inside their house, they would go outside. So we need to get the information to people to say wood burning is carcinogenic. And there will always be those who will still continue to burn. But as long as we've got that information out there, we've done all we can. Maybe most people do not know wood burning is carcinogenic. Maybe they don't.
So you're saying, if I'm understanding correctly, all of us as a community should do more to clean up the air?
Everyone's responsibility.
That's what you're saying?
Everyone, I'm not saying just
you
us.
all agree with that?
Everyone does.
Yeah, it's your responsibility. How much time and effort are you going to put in? How much of your time are you going to really put in to make sure you're cleaning up the air?
It just takes a conscious effort from everybody. It's just like when they gave you
If that was happening,
it's like they gave you
so
the
it's not
rubbish
happening.
bags. It's like they gave you the rubbish bags to put your disposable things for recycling. So that's all you have to do. Effectively, is just be conscious of what you're doing.
There's a lot of people out there who are conscious. It's still a problem.
It's about changing behaviour. So rather than getting in your car just to go down 5 minutes to the local Tesco Express, maybe you could walk there. Because the majority of the journeys that people get in their car for, this is what I get on a day, I'm used to this, majority of the journeys are under 1 mile. We're not talking about people who are disabled, we're talking about people who are healthy, and we've now been told we need the exercise, and we did it during COVID. This is about behaviour change. Some people are just not willing to change their behaviour.
Okay.
They see it as someone else's problem.
I'm going to quickly take here and then here, and then we have to move on. We're going to move on. And then here.
I am kind of on the side. I agree with what you said about behavior. I used to be like that, and I became conscious of it after my parents died fast, and the fact they suffered. But I'm kind of getting the impression, which is what I think is going wrong in society. They're blaming the ordinary people for the calamity. And they are, in general, I think they're saying to the poor people, you have to do better for the things to get better, when it was caused by the industrialists, when it's caused by the big people. It's not the poor person who were burning up the coal fire. I know it is fashionable that it's the upper class who want the coal fire in the proper building. We are not to be blamed. We are being taxed. We are paid. They're taking away the car parking. I'm glad for Lambeth because they started planting trees about 20 years ago. And those trees are supposed to be helping the environment. They are putting in the boxes. They'll, reduce the car, but ironically, they are sending you on a longer journey around Brixton, Lambeth, all the road closure and everything. And even if you have, I don't want to personalize or say, but I'm saying living in London for the past over 50 years, right here in this environment in Brixton, yes, within the mile radius.
Sure.
Yeah, and it has still got the change. I used to go to Brockwell Park, and Brockwell Park, we should be very good, but nobody's talking about on a nice sunny day in the morning, by mid-afternoon, you see cloud formation in the sky, and 2 days time you get rain, and it's all advertisement then, and I know I'm not going out there then when that first rain come down, because I can hardly breathe. So the pollution that is there, that is not going up. It's actually coming down on us. And we've got to be conscious because they're raising council tax. They're raising that. Even if you have a visitor with cars, if you do not live in Lambeth, you don't know. And most of the people who work in Lambeth don't live in Lambeth. They're journeying into Lambeth.
Okay.
Yes, so as I say, we are trying to raise an issue, but I think we are on, it seems to me we are answering from the perspective that we are to be blamed, and that's what I think the council has put on.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Because of time, I'd like you to just have a think about if there was a policy that you could write that would make an impact on something that we've been discussing that may change and improve life in health, homes, on the street, what might that policy be? Or if there is a policy that you already know that needs a slight adjustment, amendment, or even maybe a policy that you think should be abolished or cancelled or rewritten. It doesn't matter, but it's about if you had this magic wand to write something that people would listen to and go, okay, we're just interested to know what that might be so that perhaps collectively we could take all of these ideas and make a case somehow with your help. So, on your chairs, there is a policy piece of paper. Some pens will be coming round to those who haven't got a pen. And we'd just like to spend 5 minutes writing a policy idea, and then we're going to look at them and see what could be had from them. So this is the part of the session where you get a cup of tea, chat to your neighbour, but essentially we're writing a policy now, and for some of you who've never ever written a policy, now is your chance to become a policy writer, maker. So you're writing your ideas down in order what you feel could help improve the situation. If you haven't got a pen, yeah.